3 games against Fairleigh Dickinson. That was a sweep, which has allowed them to move above 500. So Hyde to begin the day, leading off against LaFew. Rockets this one to left. Winay on the move, makes the grab for the first out on the first pitch.
I think that's 3 games in a row we've seen somebody swinging on the first pitch from the opposition to Wake Forest. So evidently the scouting report says try to get to their pitchers early in the count.
Doesn't work that time.
You know, it's from the flip side. As a pitcher, it's, well, all right, 1 pitch, I got an out. I'm in good shape right now.
Keep that pitch count down.
Yeah.
So that brings up Michael Eze, someone who's been off to a slower start this year, but was an all-conference selection a year ago. They moved him back to short, began his career as a shortstop. They moved him to second, and now for defensive reasons, he's back in his natural position.
And one of their key players.
Quick 3-0 advantage for Eze. Watches a strike fly by.
Miss badly and then paint.
Everybody clap your hands.
How about that? Run it full. Payoff. Just misses on the outside corner, and Georgetown has the number 2 guy aboard.
Now batting for Georgetown, the first baseman, number 7.
Well, here's the guy we spotlighted off the top, Larry. Christian Ficca, a senior first baseman out of Chevy Chase, Maryland. Hit both of his home runs on the year last weekend.
Well, he's a big guy, and he swings from the left side, so you know that he's a threat in David F. Couch Ballpark.
Those pull shots to right. 300, not exactly the longest ride you have to give it.
It's reachable.
Ficca enters today in a 6-game hit streak. He's 13 of his last 28 with 13 RBIs in that span. 2-0. Sneaks in on the outside corner.
Fastball, changeup, slurve, and a cutter.
Corner goes. Throw down from Ballestero. Takes a hop, and Eze is easily in the second. Not a Georgetown team that steals many bases, Larry. Just 4 stolen bases on the year entering today.
Yeah, but you try to find something out early and see if you can take advantage of it during the course of the game. So Georgetown losing no time.
Here comes the 2-2. Misses high.
Not wasting any time either.
Pitch clock speeds people up, doesn't it?
Speeds everybody up. Been an interesting change to the game, and now it's just a regular part of the game nobody thinks about.
Speeds the batters up sometimes too, right? This is drilled into right. That'll take a hop, and that'll score Eze. Slides in. Georgetown draws first blood.
A good jump on his steal, and then he got a very good jump with a good secondary lead to get himself in a good position to score. He was half-stepping toward third base.
How about this? Hayden LaFew in his first 2 starts allowed just 1 earned run each. He's allowed a run within 3 batters faced to begin today. Brings up the cleanup man Carpellotti, who's been excellent this year.
Also means Wake Forest won't score first, so much for that stat I threw out in the open.
You mentioned it. You were predicting everything on Sunday. Things backfire quick, don't they?
Practiced that stat all afternoon.
Every action must have an opposite reaction, right? 0-2 hole for Carpellotti. Swings at this, and he'll drop it into left. So back-to-back base knocks, and 2 aboard for Georgetown with just 1 gone.
Kind of an awkward-looking swing, but he stayed back and was strong enough because the pitch was up. He was strong enough to flare it into left field, and it's going to draw a quick trip to the mound from Corey Muscara, the Wake Forest pitching coach. And if that was working, I knew it was going to be a good 7 or 8 or 9 innings. Strikeouts are overrated.
Fair enough.
in my humble yet accurate opinion.
He's got the 5-man Josh Rolling, a grad transfer out of Sacramento State. 2 on, 1 gone. A run already scored in the form of Michael Eze moments ago. Up and down start to Rolling's year. He's always been a mid-200s guy throughout his career.
Just a rear back and challenge him fastball right there.
Pitcher's count.
Evidently, Corey Muscara said, we're going to challenge him.
Rolling this season struck out 5 times in his opening 4 games. He's only been fanned twice since. Make it 3 times. And it's fouled back. Keep it at 1 and 2.
Didn't get much of it.
Check on the runner at second. Fecka back in time easily.
And LeFew's heart wasn't really in that throw.
Another 1-2 on the way.
Big pitch here for LeFew, even though it's early.
Certainly feels like it. Now make it 3 strikeouts. LeFew's first of the day. And there's the second out of the inning.
Good fastball on the inside part. You see Ballesteros sets up on the inside corner, gets it right where he wants it, just above the hands.
Tough guy to strike out recently, Rolling. We mentioned the stat. Just 3 strikeouts now in the last 8 games. That'll bring up the 6th hitter, Derek Smith, the transfer from Bryant. Dealt with some nagging injuries that kept him in a DH spot early in this season. He's since moved back to his natural center field role. It was a big strikeout for LeFew.
Pitch count climbing up quickly. 1/4 already.
Didn't have the marker of the 25 pitch first inning, did it? At least to begin it.
You know, that's the kind of thing that if LeFew can keep doing that throughout his career, he's going to have a lot of success. If he can throw something off speed on 2-1 counts on the left side, he can have a lot of fun.
Here's the 2-2. Just misses. Run it full. Big payoff here from the freshman. And he misses to load the bases.
It looked like he tried to throw a cutter there and just guided it a little bit, didn't quite get it over.
Georgetown, the third baseman at number 30, Joe Hollerback.
Georgetown batting deeper into the order than perhaps many would have anticipated coming into the day. Another grad transfer. This is Joe Hollerback out of Cornell. Slow start at the plate, but he is renowned for the power in that barrel. When you run into an early jam like this, how do you regroup?
Just start throwing strikes. The reason you're in the jam is because you're not getting the ball over. So don't try to baby it. Throw it with your natural delivery.
2-0. Pop dropped in his shallow center. Everyone called off it by the center fielder King. That'll do it for the first inning. So Wake escapes bases loaded situation, but they still allow the opening run. First time they're at the plate when we return on ACCNX, better than a few weeks ago.
Well, it's a team that you always anticipate is going to hit in this ballpark because it's an offensive-oriented ballpark, and they've got some veterans that have been through it. Even with the people that they brought in, they're older players that understand their game. It's just a matter of time for the weather to warm up and everybody to get rolling at one time.
Xander String Houston, the leadoff man, a 9-game hit streak entering today. Someone who has grown by leaps and bounds from last season. So Catlett getting the start. He threw a 4-out save on Saturday, and the first pitch hits Houston in the calf. So a polar opposite start to Catlett's day than we saw from the counterpart in LeFew.
Well, you hope that the results of the inning turn out differently.
That's not the way you would have preferred to start your day, right?
Never, ever.
Here's Wake Forest leader in batting average, and Adam Tellier. He shows bunt and looks at a strike. Speaking of hit streaks, 5 in a row for Tellier coming into the afternoon. He hit a solo shot in the 3rd inning on Sunday as well. Oh, 0-2 misses outside.
Never been hit in the calf with a pitch, but it can't feel very good.
Probably one of the last spots you want to get hit, right? That stays fair as it trickles down the 3rd baseline. And now into the corner. It's going to score Houston, and it's a stand-up RBI double from Adam Tellier.
That took 3 hitters for Georgetown to score. A little bit quicker for Wake Forest. Adam Tellier is just as hot as you could be. Gets a pitch a little bit toward the inside part of the plate, rips it down the line, just a couple of feet fair. Absolutely no chance for Hollerback over at 3rd base.
Wake made that 1-run lead evaporate. And now that brings up Nick Kurtz, who cleared the fences, broke Trackman on Sunday with a blast to right field.
And 0 reason to pitch to him here.
You've mentioned teams pitching around him, but King and Reinish have started to get going in the 4 and 5 spots, which has made that a more difficult scenario.
Pitches like that are the area where Kurtz has to fight himself and the urge to say, well, they're finally getting something close. I've got to go after it. Good job laying off.
Watches that float by for a strike.
Wouldn't try it again.
You mentioned pitching inside to Nick Kurtz is the last thing you want to do. Miss high here.
You have to at some point because you've got to establish that you will try it in there. The guy the other day, just you could feel that one coming as he was playing with fire. Depends on the pitcher.
Well, they'll walk him anyways. It's an unorthodox walk. They still send him to first.
3-2 breaking ball.
For Wake Forest, the center fielder, number 5, Seaver King.
Well, Seaver King, we mentioned him off the top. In the 1st inning on Sunday, hit the shot to right field to open the scoring. Now has an opportunity to come to the plate in a tie game with 2 on. Gets good contact on it, and it was just a liner to left that wound up in Castillo's glove comfortably.
Yeah, probably the hardest hit ball of the day so far, and he got nothing for it.
Number 31, Jake Reinish.
way he's been seeing the ball lately, 5 of his last 8 entering the day. Would have fancied him to come through in that scenario. Brings up Reinisch, who also started to see the ball a bit better on Sunday. He cleared the fences in the 7th. One of 4 Wake Forest players to hit home run against Elon. The throw towards second is over Eze's head, and now both runners in a scoring position for Wake.
Little inside movement as he stepped back. Looked like he was off balance with his left foot that went down the mound just a little bit. He was off balance when he threw it.
Catlett well and truly in a first inning jam. Big spot here for Reinisch. You've mentioned the ebbs and flows of his career. Really hot last season after an up and down sophomore campaign.
A great freshman year, and was injured early on. Last year
Struggled, ended the year 178 in 2023. That was after a 318 campaign as a sophomore in 2022. Two one. Reinisch's father, Paul, played at Wake Forest as well before being drafted by the Detroit Tigers.
A lot of Tiger stuff around here today we'll get into.
2-2. Got him swinging. Big strikeout there from Catlett.
A good pitch, too. The big, tall left-hander goes with a sweeping breaking ball. That's a tough pitch. Really good pitch to a left-hander.
2 down now for Ballestero. Below the bases. 2 batters hit already.
You got to wear it without making it look like it hurts, but it hurt.
The second baseman, number 9, Austin.
Right in the ankle.
Dave Ballestero explaining to Matt Wessinger, the first base coach, exactly where it hit and how much it hurts.
And here's someone who's seen the ball really well this season, Austin Hawk. We talked to Tom Walter last week. He said, I'm very pleased with how the bottom of the order especially has been hitting the baseball. That continued relatively well this weekend. Quick 0-2 hold though.
Well, Hawk's been a clutch hitter too. He's their leading RBI guy, and he's done a great job in tough situations. He's in a tough situation, but he's got a big gap in right center field too.
We'll lay that one off. Gives this one a ride into right center. It's hanging up. Smith makes the grab on the move and keeps Georgetown on the level playing field. Wake Forest leaves 3 aboard. Still a tie game after an inning of work as Georgetown.
Up just enough.
There's your look at Edwin Thompson, his 4th year at the helm of Georgetown, and someone who's elevated them to new heights. This was a program that had not been to the Big East tournament since 1986, or had not prior to his appointment. And took them to the Big East tournament in 2022 and 2023.
Interesting man to talk baseball with. Talked about his early days and making the transition, finding out about new players.
High pop fly by Castillo. Tellier trying to pick it out. Instead, it's the shortstop who missed the grab in Houston.
Back to the top of the
And how
order.
you build your team, and how when you come over as a new guy, you're full of energy, and then you see, you find out what pieces you've got, and what you like, what you don't like, how you're going to fill it in. At Georgetown, they only take graduate transfers, so that kind of hampers the portal for them a little bit.
They also play 30 minutes away from campus. They moved ballparks to Capital One Park in Tysons, Virginia. And we spoke to Coach Thompson about that, and he said, it's almost like commuting to work, and that's what I tell to a lot of my recruits.
They also have an indoor bubble, but they move around and use some different facilities to practice on in the wintertime and early spring.
Being a baseball program in that D.C. area seems a bit more difficult than people anticipate, just due to the fact that you probably have to practice off campus. This is Hyde's chopper to short. Houston charges it. Throw on the move. Impressive defensive play. Makes it a 1-2-3 inning for Hayden LeFew and company. So much different start to this inning for Wake Forest. They keep Georgetown scoreless as they Wake Forest and Georgetown all knotted at 1 apiece as Everett Catlett is back on the bump to resume his start. He'll face Jack Winney, the sophomore left fielder, who's gotten off to a great start to the year. Puts a good charge into this in the center. Smith is ranging back and over the batter's eye. Jack Winney continues his hot streak at the dish.
Well, that is very impressive power in this ballpark when you go straight away over the batter's eye. That's big boy country out there, and it's the new look. It's the blonde hair, very shortly cut. You see it around the entire Wake Forest team. He gets a pitch a little bit away, so he gets extension. If you get in on him, you've got a chance, but when he gets the arms extended, he's got big-time power, and he goes over the 400-foot mark, over the batting eye. That's a long, far one.
How about this? 6 home runs now in the last 8 contests from Jack Winney. All 6 of his home runs in that span. An unbelievable start out of the 8-hole as that brings up Chris Katz, the 9-hole hitter in the DH spot. Wild thing about Winney last season is he was not a regular starter by the time the postseason came around. 6th home run of the year. He did start at first base in that elimination game against LSU with Kurtz out there. It was one of 2 starts he made last season.
Yeah, the unbelievable game between Skeens and Rhett Lauder. And he had a base hit the ball hard, and I think that did a lot for his confidence. Bill Salento, his hitting coach, said before last year, he's a guy to keep your eye on. He's a hitter, and he's always going to hit. It's just finding the spot for him. He had Brock Wilkin at third base, and he had Nick Kurtz at first base, and the corners were his position. So they started working him in the outfield, and now he's doing a great job and owns the spot at this point.
Katz goes down on strikes. That brings up the top of the order in Houston. It's so impressive with how Winney has started this year. Another player enjoying a massive leap here in 2024. Speaking of leaps, how about Merrick Houston?
Well, sometimes you just have to get the opportunity, and for a guy like Winney, it was a matter of getting at bats. But like I said, the people in front of him were stars, and they had some veteran players in the outfield that it was tough to break in front of as well.
Looking at Merrick Houston's development between last season and this year. As a freshman, struggled at the plate. Everybody knew he was in the lineup for defense. This season, excellent as he pops another one down the line in left, and it just goes foul. Eyebrow raising.
Yeah. Look pretty close. Yeah, he's put on some weight, put on some muscle, which has really helped him. And it's freshman year. You come in, you're a shortstop, and you got veterans around you that are stars that are getting ready to be drafted and everything else. And so you just kind of keep your mouth shut and go about your business. This year you're bigger, you're stronger, you're older, you're feeling more comfortable about your college experience.
Houston goes down on strikes.
Now batting for Wake Forest, the third baseman, number 3, Adam Tilley.
It's got to be a tall order as well. You mentioned coming in freshman, playing shortstop, arguably the most important defensive position, and then expected to still produce at the plate. He did get himself going at the end of the season, hit that grand slam in the Winston-Salem Super Regional.
Well, the thing is when you're that good defensively, and your coach appreciates that, as the Wake Forest staff did, you can get away with a little bit less offense. And they knew it was going to be a building year. They feel like they got plenty out of him last year, and he's taken the logical step.
Tellier drove home the first run for Wake with that double down the left field line in first. He's back at the plate now. Here's the 0-2. That'll be a souvenir for the fans. On the subject of Houston and Tellier, when Tellier came in, he was originally a shortstop at Ball State. So that's also sliced foul. And they told him, look, you can compete for short, but at the end of the day, you'll probably have to find a spot on the hot corner. He's done that. He's been solid defensively, and obviously finding a role for him offensively in the lineup has been the right decision given how well he's hit the baseball.
No, Wake Forest knew that the bat would play. It was a matter of finding the spot for him to play defensively, and he's done a very good job. Hasn't been challenged all that much, quite honestly, yet at third base, but has responded very well to the couple of tough plays that he's had to make.
Tellier had an inside-the-park home run in the Dayton series as well. One of 5 dingers so far. 0-2. Gets underneath this. It's into shallow left. Castillo calling everyone off it and makes the grab. Back here at the couch, started the 3rd inning. Heart of the Georgetown order due up after Wake took the lead on Jack Winay's home run in the home half of the 2nd. Heavy shift on against Michael Eze, senior shortstop, who was a second-team All-Big East selection a year ago. Hit .290 a season ago. This season it's been a bit rockier, and he goes down on 3 straight pitches for his second at-bat.
Now batting for Georgetown.
He looked like he got his dander up a little bit in the dugout. Came out firing.
He's retired the last 5 batters he's faced after a really rocky start to the first.
Saw him up in the gas station before the game today, this afternoon, on my way into the ballpark early.
Sent Feckett up first after drilling him in the back. What'd you say to him?
2-1. Still 2-1 Georgetown. You know what? Starting pitchers and quarterbacks. They're talking. Not on game day.
Fair enough.
Hi, how you doing? And keep walking. Because they got a lot on their mind. Everybody else is fair game.
You mentioned throwing strikes key for LeFew. Started to do that as he ended the first inning. It was 1-2-3 in the second for him. Falls behind 2-0.
Well, it's what freshmen do. You have it for a hitter. You have it for 2 hitters. It disappears for a hitter. You have it for another hitter, and it disappears for 2 hitters.
You see the breakdown on your screen as well. It's been perfectly even in balls and strikes, so a mixed bag.
Good.
It's not ideal. Especially for someone who last season in high school set a county record with 128 strikeouts in just 70 innings pitched. Carpellotti at the dish. He singled, was left stranded at second in the first inning.
Perfect. Breaking ball, outside corner, knee high.
He's back to the heat. He misses outside this time.
Ballestero tried to steal it, but couldn't quite get it.
3-1. Run it full. LeFeau's been a strike thrower to begin his career. Coming into the day, had walked just 4 batters in 2 outings. Here's the payoff. He'll add another walk to that ledger as there's 2 on.
Now hitting for Georgetown.
Again, he watches the pitch count total build up at 50.
Shinosky in the pen.
Yup.
He was great on Saturday night.
Oh, goes off speed with a good pitch. And again, there's the growing pains. Different pitches, different times. They're really good and then not so good.
Mentioned very few freshmen are ready to come in and settle into that weekend rotation. In many respects, the likes of Rhett Lauder and Hartle being outliers.
Well, the win by LeFeau earlier this year was the first by a freshman since Hartle got his.
1-1. And their first strike.
In 22.
Everybody clap your hands.
Big pitch here for LeFeau. Got rolling on strikes his last time up.
This is the big one because you don't want to go 3 and 2 and narrow your selection down.
Instead, it's off the inside of the bat and it drops down the right field line. Scores Ficca. Sliding into second, he's in there, and it's a double, which ties this ball game.
When it's elevated, you can fight it off, and that's exactly what he did, and just kind of dorked it into right field for a base hit that produces a run. Gets in, and he goes inside-out swing, and didn't exactly crush it down the right field line, but did the job.
Throw was never really online. No debate about whether he was in a second. How about this? Georgetown battling back from that deficit. Potential go-ahead run standing on third. It's routine for LeFeau in inning 2. Anything but here in the third.
Well, he's been pretty good in the early going for Wake Forest. They're very encouraged by what they've seen. Not sharp yet, but and the pitch count running up there.
Smith, a grad transfer from Bryant, All-America East first teamer a year ago, hit north of 300. He's just starting to find his rhythm at the plate. He opened the year 2 of his first 17. He's down to his knees with that one.
Big swing at a breaking ball.
Two. Run it full.
Right-hander on deck.
Payoff through the gap and left. Carpellotti scores and Georgetown back in front.
Just kind of a get-me-over breaking ball. Didn't really have a lot of conviction with it. Left it up in the strike zone and got hit sharp to the left field. Tom Walter out of the dugout. The 6th, 7th inning to get to the back end of the bullpen. But he's also a guy that, as you said, can come in, get a couple of outs with 1 pitch, or get you out of a jam if you need him early. And maybe give you multiple innings, maybe 3, and then let you turn it over to the bullpen, the rest of the bullpen.
Comes in an emergency scenario as Wake Forest headman Tom Walter looks on. 15th year of this Wake program and someone who has built it into a national powerhouse the last couple seasons. sure, a bit earlier than he wanted to come to the bullpen than perhaps thought coming in. To get your look at some of the numbers on him. The ACC Coach of the Year led them to a program record 54 wins and a trip to Omaha. They were a game shy of the championship series of the College World Series.
I'll tell you what, though, if there's one guy that you know has the patience to look at a young pitcher and understand the long term, what he's going to be doing for his program, it's Tom Walter. He takes a really long view of the way he approaches his program.
Someone who's built an incredible culture in the program as well. We've spoken about it before. Not just guys that are good, but guys that fit the culture and are all about Wake Forest. They want to see their teammates excel. And he took the Wake Forest program over. They were middle bottom of the ACC. Took them to the Super Regionals in 2017, and then during COVID, you mentioned, he took a long, hard look at his program. He's since led them into national prominence. Holler back at the plate. With runners on the corners and one gone for Shinosky, who picked up the win on Saturday against Binghamton. Escaped the bases loaded. Nobody gone jam in that game. As things stand, barring a Wake Forest avalanche in the bottom of the third, this would be the first non-quality start plus we've seen from a Wake Forest pitcher this year. Stat that Tom Walter has crafted over the course of this season. Let's go longer than the opposing pitcher and leave with the game tied or you leading. 2-2. The dirt from Shinosky.
Favorite cereal dugout.
Payoff. Just got it back.
That's about as long as you can wait right there. I mean, his bat was just getting to home plate when it made contact. Behind at the back part of it, you don't want to wait any longer.
Call that a business decision. Make contact and move on. Three-2 is hit hard into left. Ranging towards the wall is Winay. It'll clear the wall. A salami for Joe Hollerback. And a 3-run shot gives Georgetown full control.
A high fastball, upper part of the strike zone, a little bit inside, and he took it over the fence and over the bushes in straightaway left field. Sounded loud. And when they knew he had no chance.
A 5-run third inning for Georgetown. They take a 4-run lead. As there's no more luck just after the pitching change. We're at the bottom of the order now for Joe Stella, who's making just his first start of the year. How about that? A 3-run bomb from Hollerback. Just his third of the season. After entering the day, 2 of his previous 16 at the plate.
But you talked about the power that was in there. It just hadn't made its appearance yet. It comes at a bad time for the Demon Deacons.
One-two to Stella. Still one gone, this time with an empty diamond. Checks his swing. Umpire says he didn't go.
Closes the book on LeFew. And a day that he'll try to forget as quickly as he can.
5 straight Georgetown players have been aboard here. Payoff. Got him swinging, and a much-needed strikeout for Shinoski.
Good off-speed pitch. Got him way out in front. And he walks away saying, you gotta stay back, you gotta stay back.
Brings up Castillo, making his 10th start. Wake looking to escape the nightmare inning that is the top of the 3rd here.
Like he might have crossed up Ballesteros.
They've bounced around on the catcher front this year. Brought in Cameron Gill from Wofford, who hit the walk-off in the second half of that Binghamton doubleheader. Ballesteros started the last 2 behind the plate. He DH'd the bulk of the previous series against Dayton. Floated into right. Grab made routinely by Reinisch, and that'll do it. But Georgetown empties the diamond. A 5-run top of the 3rd puts the top-ranked team in the nation in a 4-run hole midway through the 3rd.
Every hitter's goal, be the featured guy that the cameras point at when you go back out to your defensive position. It means you did something good.
Well, Hollerback has certainly accomplished that. That was a bomb in the left. Drove home 3 runs, opened this game up a bit. It's not a Wake team that has often seen itself in early holes, especially this year. Plenty of time to make up ground. 1-0 from Kurtz, comes off Patlett's leg. The first base is empty. And a base knock to begin the home half of the 3rd from Kurtz.
Generally speaking, you feel like as a pitcher that those are hit harder than they are, and especially with the aluminum bats. It sounds like it's going to be a rocket coming back at you. And that one jammed him just a little bit, had some spin on it. You can see how far it spun after it hit his body. Went off to the side. Base hit for Kurtz.
Seaver King, hard hit ball to Hollerback at 3rd. Looking to turn 2, and King will beat out the throw to 1st, but they get the lead runner.
Ball dropped out of the glove of Hollerback because it was hit so hard by King. He smoked that ball to 3rd base. Hollerback did a good job staying in front of it and then made a good throw to 2nd. At that point, when the ball drops out of the glove, with a runner like Kurt, with a runner like Seaver King as good, as fast as he is, you know you don't have a chance for the double play.
So Reinisch into the box. Struck out earlier. This will be a routinely hit base knock to center. First pitch. Advances King to 3rd. And Wake's got a runner in scoring position.
King puts a big-time deke on Georgetown, like he's going to stop at 2nd, gets a casual throw and hit the Jets, turned on the afterburner and made it into 3rd base easily. That's all a heads-up play by Seaver King. Really nicely done. Hate the fact that he used it early in the season against the non-conference team.
He had Duke on the horizon on Friday.
Yeah.
It's a big stretch for Wake as well. Obviously, you find yourself in an early hole here. You don't want to use too many arms because come Friday night, you've got the 12th ranked team in the nation in town. 0-1 to Ballesteros. Pop foul ground. Out of play and unplayable for Hayden Wright.
Take Ballesteros, help guide that one foul with some body language.
Here's the 0-2 to the ground transfer. Misses high. Ballesteros played in 2 games last weekend, a combined 2 of 7, but hitting .355 so far as the grad student out of St. John's. He was very good during his time with the Red Storm. 2-2. Swings. And they got him on strikes. So 2 down. And Wake, despite threatening, finds themselves facing another 2 men left on base here in the home half of the third. There's a 4th strikeout from Catlett.
Good off-speed pitch by Catlett.
So Hawk in the first inning came to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 gone, and ultimately flew out to center. He's got a similar scenario here with corners and 2 gone here in the third. Hits this hard into right, ranging back towards the wall is Hyde, who makes the grab on the track. And Wake, despite putting a runner 90 feet from the plate, comes up empty-handed. Georgetown leading the top-ranked team in the nation by 4 runs after 3. Down this weekend. I know your starters are been pretty solid, but don't want to take any chances.
Well, you piece it together. You need to get some guys a little bit of work to get ready for the weekend. You don't want to extend anybody too much. You want to be able to use Shinosky over the weekend whenever you want to, whether it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
We mentioned as well on Sunday, this is a bullpen that is a little banged up, still getting some guys back from injury, and it's a thinner bullpen rotation than Tom Walter would have wanted. Sunday got away with only using a few arms. A great start from Michael Massey, 5 2/3. All 3 starters have taken them deep into contests these last couple of weeks. Take a look at Massey. A more relaxing day for him after striking out 9 on Sunday. And there goes Hyde down on strikes.
And he was one of the 11 that did not get his hair cut or dyed. 29 of the 40 on the Wake Forest team did go with the short hair and or a dye job. Not Michael Massey.
Hair's too good to cut it.
Not David Falco.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Jake Reinish did. And he hit a home run to right on Sunday. So whatever he did worked as they behind 0-2.
I was challenged to do it in the Wake Forest dugout. And I started to say, well, if you guys go to Omaha, and then I said, wait a second, they got way too good a chance to go to Omaha for me to be throwing that out there.
How about a 3-pitch strikeout of Eze? Back-to-back Ks from Shinosky to begin the 4th.
Now batting for Georgetown, the first baseman, number 7.
Off speed again to the outside part of the plate. Good pitch by Ben Shinosky. The exception of the mistake that disappeared. He's looked sharp. That's a good breaking ball.
Gotta like you playing the odds on that. Number 1 team in the nation. Don't want to gamble they won't go to Omaha.
For once, my mouth didn't get ahead of my brain.
Ballesteros unable to frame that one after they got Eze on a strikeout moments ago. This is Ficca, who's been aboard twice today. He's driven home on the 3-run blast in the 3rd.
A little blast to the chest of John Byrne right there. A home plate umpire.
Gotta be tough to be an umpire these days.
Man.
Hitters count here for Ficca.
The problem with hitters counts is that sometimes they feel like they have to swing. From a pitcher's standpoint, you like it. Doesn't always pay off for the hitters.
Payoff. Shinosky just misses inside, and there's a 2-out base runner for the Hoyas.
Now batting for Georgetown.
Didn't miss by much.
41, Owen Carpellani.
Carpellotti, the mainstay in the cleanup spot. His junior season out of Detroit area from Canton, Michigan. He's hit here, and 2-out burst potentially brewing now for Georgetown.
Just kind of casually turned into that breaking ball and let it pop him. I mean, looks to me like those thighs can take a breaking ball or two without too much suffering going on.
6'2", 215.
Yeah. 15?
It's 215 is what it says.
Throwing a flag.
You think it's a little more, don't you?
He's a sturdy young man.
Give him at least 25. Don't disrespect him.
He's a sturdy young man.
2-on-2 gone for Josh Rolling. Rolling began his career at Cal, was considering enrolling in community college when the 2020 season was shut down. Said he was there for about 3 days and then ultimately didn't wind up playing community college baseball. Was a sparing feature at Cal before moving to Sacramento State and being an everyday starter in the second base area. Now in his 5th college season with the Georgetown Hoyas. 1-2. Narrowly misses a 3rd strikeout.
Breaking ball or a cutter, something at the top of the zone.
And Rolling stays afloat. He was a big piece for Edwin Thompson in the offseason. Said he wanted to move Eze back to short because defensively at second there were some miscues, and he wanted to play Eze in his natural position. So he went out, got a surefire second baseman in Rolling. And now he's punched out on strikes. 3 strikeouts for Shinosky in the inning. Wake Forest holds Georgetown to no runs. Still 6-2. They've got work to do at the plate when we return on ACCNX. Innings pitch, trying to go for 4 right here.
52 pitches through 3 innings, 17 per inning, pretty solid.
Far different from the 27 pitch first we saw from Review.
Just never quite got on top of his stuff and commanded the strike zone. One of those left-handers that if the arm drops down, the ball still has good action, but it's not the kind of action you're used to. It makes it harder to control.
When fouls this back. He is one of the guys who shaved his head. Mentioned the yellow dye, an interesting choice.
He got some looks going.
1-2. Misses a touch low and inside. His last time up, shellacked one over the batter's eye in center. Two-two. Line to left, and it drops for a base knock to begin the 4th.
And it wasn't hit as hard as the home run. It was still hit pretty firmly.
Now batting for Wake Forest, the designated hitter, number 33.
Good start for Wake here in the bottom of the 4th. Katz had his first hit of the season on Sunday. Came in the late stages of that victory over Elon. Oh, of 1 today. Larry, talking about the progress Georgetown's made under Edwin Thompson. Hadn't made a Big East tournament since 2018. He took over prior to the 2021 season. In 2021, they won just 6 games. completed a huge turnaround in 2022, set a program record 32 wins, and returned to the Big East tournament. From there, they made the postseason once again in 2023, won their first ever Big East tournament game last year. And 2 rides inside on Chris Katz.
Well, part of the conversation with the coach before the game was about how COVID kind of messed everybody's program up, and when you're starting new with a program, you know, and you've got to deal with the repercussions of all of that, it just makes it that much more difficult. It's tough enough already at the D1 level to put together a successful college program, and when you have schools that have different kinds of obstacles, like academic requirements like Georgetown and Wake Forest do, and some of the other factors that enter into it, makes it even more difficult. And you throw that other mystery factor in, and you got your hands full.
A lot of coaches mentioning how they had to recruit on video back in those days.
Yep.
For some of the mid-majors, though, it helped them land recruits that potentially would have been Power 5 caliber had there not have been only video recruiting. Tom Walter still looking on, hoping that offense sees a power surge over the course of the remaining 5 innings and change. Katz is down on strikes.
Tom Walter, the Georgetown alum, bringing his alma mater in to face them.
The 8th time since 2012 they've squared off. Wake Forest has won the previous 7 meetings. And oddly enough, you mentioned his tenure at Georgetown as a player. Then he began his career as an assistant coach at nearby GW. Of course, wound up taking the GW head coaching job, and in 2002 took GW to the Winston-Salem Regional. So full circle in circuitous fashion. Georgetown looking to turn 2. Classic 6-4-3 to end the inning. So the Hoyas neutralize the leadoff base runner and still preserve a 4-run advantage after 4 with the bottom of the day. Somebody who's been known as a middle innings guy for the bulk of his career.
Well, enjoying his walk-up song, if that is his walk-up song. He knows the words, so I'm going to assume that it is. He's done a very good job for Wake Forest in the early going. Again, being one of the bridge men to get to the short part of the back end of the bullpen, a little bit shorter with Cole Rowland out.
5 appearances already this year, a .96 ERA, a 10-2 strikeout to walk ratio as well. Known for his command this year. Did take the loss, though, against UNC Greensboro in that midweek defeat a couple weeks ago. The only loss on Wake's ledger to date. Derek Smith, a 6-hole hitter, transfer from Bryant, a 2-time all-conference first-team selection during his tenure there. Began to develop as a power hitter over the course of his final few seasons there. He will not get a chance to display that as he takes a ball to the legs and another leadoff base runner for the Hoyas.
Just no rhythm on the mound for Wake Forest as we head toward the middle part of the ball game. We need a quick inning to get the offense back into the dugout quickly and try to get the momentum shifted a little bit.
Last guy you want to see if you're Wake right now. Hollerback, who hit the 3-run shot we showcased moments ago.
Or maybe it is the guy you want to face because you figure, nah, he can't hit 2 in one day.
It would double his tally for the year if he did.
It's all about the odds. It's all the percentages in baseball.
You would feel, though, he's due for a resurgence. Entered today just at 225. He's been mid-250s for most of his career. Last season was an honorable mention All-Ivy League selection. He missed the bulk of the first month and then returned in mid-March. Was pretty much a mainstay for Cornell ever since. I'll check briefly on Smith, who's back in time. Holler back last season at 260 with 4 homers in just 27 appearances. One, two. Well, this time they get him on strikes. Really good looking pitch from Ray.
Yeah, little sidearm fastball. He's got an unusual arm slot. The arm drops down, and to be able to command the outside part of the plate with it, that ball's off the plate and comes back a little bit. Really, really tough pitch to hit.
Pinch hitter already for Georgetown at the DH spot. It's Kabi Castor, a grad transfer from Salisbury University. Someone who lit up the Division III ranks. He won a D3 College World Series as a sophomore in 2021.
For Georgetown, number 42, Kabi Castor.
So they gave Stella one at-bat and they make the change. We've spoken about Seaver King transitioning from D2 to D1 for Wake after lighting it up at Wingate. It's a similar story with Castor in the D3 ranks, where he was one of the best hitters in Salisbury University history. Set the program all-time record for slugging percentage, also was 3rd all-time with 29 career home runs. Tries to find the gap. Excellent play at second, and they get the lead runner. How about that from Monk?
Da-da-da, da-da-da. The cliche ESPN song. That's just an amazing play. It's a great play by Hawk in the first place to go out there and get it. Makes a little flip, a blind type of flip, and Merrick Houston is able to stretch his frame out and come up with the catch. That ball comes out of the glove, wide of the base, and Merrick Houston somehow manages to get a toe on, and we're going to get an appeal on it. It looked from that replay, and Merrick Houston pointed to it, says, I had it, I had it. That's a great play by two really good middle infielders. You'll see this.
Pinch hitting for Georgetown,
Travis Illich,
number 16, Travis
going to
Illich.
replace Castillo towards the bottom of the order. So another change for Georgetown as they go deeper into the reserves in the pinch hitting front. Illich's 7th appearance of the year. Another man out of Michigan. You're familiar with the Detroit area?
Very familiar with the Illich family.
MLB ties.
Had a very nice conversation with Travis before the game. His grandfather bought the Detroit Tigers many years ago. I worked for the Detroit Tigers for a number of years. His father, Chris, runs the team now. Chris was a bat boy on a team that won a national championship in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Tom Walter's hometown. They have a great tournament there. We won a national championship, and Mr. Illich came in, Mr. I came in and coached third base for us.
There you go.
One night. He was a former minor league player in the Tigers organization.
Had a lot of full circle type moments today.
Yeah, that's the great thing about baseball is it's such a small world. That's half the fun. Mr. Illich was an infielder, I believe, in the Tigers organization for a while. Part of the reason for his fondness for that club.
Checking back on Castor once again.
Owns the Detroit Red Wings as well.
Travis also played in the Northwoods League with Kalamazoo this past summer. Quality baseball up there.
Just a short jaunt outside the city of Detroit, the other side of Ann Arbor, which is a fine place to be any time of the year.
Any bias there? Former Michigan Wolverine Larry Sorensen. 2-1. Swing and a miss.
Everybody clap your hands.
Big pitch here for Wake. Ray rears. Caught him looking. Big time strike. As there's a change in left, we saw Travis Illich strike out to retire the side in the 4th. He is now out there in left for the start of the 5th.
Teal, the color of the year, evidently, for Georgetown. Well, we talked about Catlett at the start, saying if he gets ahead, he can be really tough. And that's exactly what he's been doing.
So Village struck out the side to retire things in the top of the 5th. He's out there for the home half. Village made a couple starts and left as well. Tellier had an RBI double to get Wake on the board in the 1st inning. Tellier, the MAC tournament MVP with Ball State. 2nd team All-MAC selection a year ago. Someone who's only boosted that production in the black and gold of Wake Forest. One, two. Two here for Tellier. Popped in a shallow center. Multiple people giving chase, and it drops. Right between Rolling and Smith, and a leadoff base runner here for Wake.
Hurt so good, jammed just right as Tellier, and he flips it into center field for a little base hit. 3rd inning in a row that Wake Forest has had the leadoff man on base.
Was quickly neutralized in the 4th. They'll be hoping for better outcomes here in the 5th. He's hitting so well, everything's going his way right now, Tellier.
Yeah.
Tellier last weekend, 6 of 13 with 3 RBIs. A couple home runs as well. Now here's Nick Kurtz with a base runner aboard. All of the preseason acclaim, one of the top players in the nation entering the year. A home run machine, someone who's widely expected to be a top 5 pick consensusly.
And people are pitching him like it.
A lot of pitch arounds. He's just starting to ignite the fuse offensively because he's been out of a rhythm with the number of walks he's received. He's the number 2 overall pick in mock drafts entering the season.
Depending on which of the 42 you believe.
I'm sure some have him first, some have him 8th, right? I think if you have him outside the top 5, you're sorely mistaken. Walk him on 5 pitches. 2 on with nobody gone.
Now batting for Wake Forest, the center fielder, number 5.
Well, Wake situationally has had their ups and downs. And today, you get a look at this breakdown. Great work by our crew. 5 of 5 on leadoff batters, but with runners on, that average plummets to 200. And in scoring position, Larry, 0 of 5.
Well, and I look at that immediately and say they're due. Because that's the way baseball is. The percentages even out at some point in time. As George Capens heads out to the mound to have a conversation.
Remember, both in the 1st and the 3rd, Austin Hawk came to the plate with multiple runners aboard and 2 outs. They were unable to drive home runners in any of those scenarios. Now they have another favorable situation with 2 on and nobody gone for Seaver King. So 0 of 2 today, but enjoyed more success at the plate these last couple weeks or so.
Stepping back in for Wake Forest, number 5, Seaver King.
Third-team All-American by D1 Baseball in the preseason. Back-to-back first-team All-SAC campaigns with Wingate prior to transferring to Wake this offseason. You've mentioned he's been unfazed by the transition and the step up in competition. Of quartet of home runs already to begin the year.
And really needs to show some patience here. There's activity down the line for Georgetown. It's a right-hander, and we'll grab a number in a second.
2-0 to King. I don't think you're green-lighting anyone here.
If there's anybody you are, it'd be this guy and the guy that's at first, but he's having trouble finding home plate.
3-0.
Notched it up 1 mile per hour.
They'll run it full. Back-to-back strikes.
Yeah, it's a good pitch.
Here's the payoff. King stays alive, slices that foul.
So the odds a couple more points in King's favor now.
Someone who led the sack in hits last season, 91 hits. Hit 408 in 2023. Had a hit in all but one game last season with Wingate. This at-bat's starting to drag on here for both pitcher and hitter. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. This is looping into right. Tilts towards foul ground. The catch is made. As Tellier will tag up into third. So sac fly into foul ground advances the lead runner.
The right fielder, number 31, Jake Reiner.
May have helped out a bit on a pitch that was down and away.
Sets the table, corners with just one gone for Reinisch. A hard hit single in the third inning. Also had a shot in the right field on Sunday.
Wake Forest needs to score in this inning.
They'll do just that. Opposite field from Reinisch. It'll drive home Tellier, and the Deeks trim the lead to 3.
Yeah, you got to put the pressure on the opposing team when you get the opportunity and try to build towards the bottom part of the game with the momentum in your favor. See how Edwin Thompson reacts to this. Nice at-bat by Reinisch, an encouraging sign for him. And George Capons is going to come out of the dugout and make the change.
Catlett goes 4 1/3, runs into some turbulence, and that'll do it. Experienced guys on our staff. Transferred in from Stanford ahead of a couple years ago. Now his second season with the Hoyts.
The way the game has changed, you know, being versatile is a real blessing for any team, whether it's on the pitching staff or in the field, whatever the case may be.
Ballestero to the plate with 2 on and 1 gone. And there's a lefty for the first time today. Moments ago, Reinisch driving home a runner for the first time since the second inning for the Deeks to trim the lead to 3 runs. Hertz is on second, Reinisch is on first.
Field was in just a little bit. Now they've moved back a little bit more.
Hitters count here for Ballestero. And a walk would load the diamond.
He's walked 3 in his 9 2/3 innings, struck out 7.
He'll throw a strike there. And now he'll move it full.
Swung right through the fastball. Weird how that happens sometimes.
We've seen pitchers battle back from 3-0s a couple times today. Payoff, well, he gets a piece of Ballestero there, and they'll load the bases.
Ice tub after the game tonight to get some of those bumps and bruises for Ballestero. Hasn't been hit behind the plate, but in the batter's box, he's been taking a beating.
Well, for the third time today, here's Austin Hawk at the plate with runners in scoring position. He was at the plate with bases loaded, 2 gone in the first, then came on with corners and 2 gone in the third. Did not plate a runner either time. Now has loaded diamond with just 1 gone. Potential go-ahead run stands at the dish. Hawk puts a charge into it in the right center. Hyde on the move, makes the grab. Kurtz will score, and the sac fly trims the lead to 2.
Well, but it gets a crooked number on the board. Gets you that much closer to where it takes a little bit less to even it up, and makes everybody in the dugout a little bit more comfortable, puts a lot more pressure over on the Hoyas side.
Deeks chipping away in the 5th. And Jack Winay, who homered his first time up, stands in the righty's box. I think we referenced this on Sunday, Larry, but apparently the team social media account calls him the Massachusetts Masher. That is the new nickname.
A little bit too much for me to get out in one quick sentence.
Alliteration's always tough. Product of Belmont Hill High School, renowned baseball program there. First team all NEPSAC in high school.
I personally am going to go with Jack.
Bit of a miscue from Jansen there. Runs the count to 3-0.
Yeah, he slipped as he threw that ball. He had trouble with his plant foot out in front. You see the ankle buckled a little bit on him, and he fell down a little bit higher. That's a pretty good pitch to hit.
Perhaps fortunate it didn't creep up in the zone.
Very fortunate he didn't get hurt either.
3-0. Well, that'll load the bases once more.
Yeah, you know, and then it's tough to get back up there because you just lost your footing and you're wondering what's going to happen next. In the old days when it was a dirt mound, not that long ago, there would be a whole dugout, and the pitchers sometimes would have different landing spots depending on their stride and depending on their size. With the turf mounds that they have now, and they replace this turf, I think monthly, that little stretch in the center you see is a little bit different. That one stretch down the middle gets replaced, I believe, every 3 weeks or so. And obviously it was a little bit of trouble for Jensen.
Antonio Morales, the pinch hitter, just a freshman. Big spot here for him with bases loaded and 2 gone. Just his 3rd at bat.
Good take.
Reinish, Ballestero, and Winay all aboard. Potential tying run stands on second.
A little conversation going on behind home plate between catcher and umpire.
2-1. Fastball speeds him up. Huge pitch here for Jensen.
Yeah, the crowd starting to get into it. The Deacons bench getting into it. It's a little bit tougher to throw this next pitch.
Mano-y-mano. Jensen and Morales. Payoff pitch here in the 5th. Misses outside. Wake walks home a run. That'll score Reinisch, and the Deeks have put 3 on the board here in the home half. A 4th walk, 3 of which have come here in the 5th. And now the tying run stands at 3rd. And they'll bring up the top of the order in Merrick Houston.
If your fastball's getting away from you and you're having trouble getting it over, go to the breaking ball. Try something different.
Houston's 0 of 2 today. He grounded in with a double play his last time up. Grounds this one to short. Eze fumbles it. Throw to first. Not in time, and the tying run across for Wake Forest.
I'd be very surprised if they don't get another look at this play. The ball just popped out of his hand at shortstop as he was looking to go to third base. The ball slips out of the glove, and then a strong throw over to first. Nope. Looks like he got there. Oh, yeah. You got to give Merrick Houston credit for running on the back side of that.
Now Tellier bloops this over to the pitcher, and Jansen will retire it to keep Georgetown on level playing field. But Wake Forest puts 4 across. We're in a tie ball. Top of the order to begin proceedings here in the 6th. Jake Hyde, who entered the day red hot after an unbelievable weekend against Fairleigh Dickinson, is 0 of 3 today, looking to ignite his bat against William Ray. Came in relief a couple frames ago. He's been solid so far. Hyde checks his swing.
Went too far.
Say went.
I got blocked by the pole.
Me
So
too.
I couldn't see what the umpire called.
I was waiting on the ruling. 0-2. Hyde gets in front of it. He pulls it into right center. The grab is made by Seaver King for the first out.
Got in on his hands with a breaking ball.
Eze had the error that led to the tying run. He has an opportunity to make amends at the plate now. And he is well and truly due. Last season was a breakout campaign for him in many regards. First team All Big East selection. He stole 18 bases as well. Also hit 10 home runs. This season, a much slower start. He's about half of his average from 2023 right now. He talked to Edwin Thompson about that. He said, in some ways, it may be due to him figuring out his new position defensively, just adjusting to his new role. He is just 2 of his last 21. He struck out twice today. 2-1. This one rides too far inside, and there's a base runner for Wake, for Georgetown.
Now back for Georgetown, the first baseman, number 7.
Good movement, just a little bit too much. And there is action in the Wake Forest bullpen. That would be Josh Gunther.
Threw a bit this past weekend.
Freshman that's got a chance to play a big part in a lot of what Wake Forest does this year.
You mentioned jobs available. Christian Ficca at the plate. been aboard all 3 of his at-bats. Massive leap for Ficca between last season and this one. He was around 270 in 2023. Entered today at 386.
I'm calling small sample.
It has only been 11 games, to be fair.
I believe they called the balk.
That's exactly what they called.
He reared backward a little bit.
Wow. Crowd doesn't like it.
Corey Mosquera doesn't like it. There it is. That was it. Now the question is, does he do it every pitch?
Well, either way, runner in scoring position now for Georgetown, with just one gone. And that sneaks behind Ballestero on the wild pitch. So now a runner 90 feet from the plate.
Well, clearly disturbed Ray a little bit.
So 2 unforced errors have now sent Eze from first to third.
What something like that does is it makes you think about every move that you make. So now you're conscious of, am I moving my body? Is my rhythm off? What am I doing? Why did they call it? First of all, if you feel like you didn't get a good explanation. But then you start thinking, okay, am I...
Here at the couch, a Wake team that erased a 4-run deficit in the home half of the 5th. Now on the verge of playing from behind once again as Ficca squares off against the freshman in Gunther.
Well, that's a large first swing.
Hunting the fences, perhaps?
Figuring he might get a go-ahead fastball.
2-2. He does get a fastball there, and it speeds up on him. Big strikeout there from Gunther.
Give Gunther credit. The 2-1 pitch is the key to it all, because and when he gets ahead of that with the swing, now he just really lets it go at 94 with some movement up and out of the zone. Huge out for Wake Forest.
So now 2 gone with the man 90 feet from the plate. It's the cleanup hitter, Carpellotti. Tasked with bringing home the runner. Remember today, both teams have left a fair few runners aboard. Wake Forest has already left 8 or 9 on base. It's 8. Georgetown left 9 on base in each of their final 2 games last weekend. That's 6 that they've left stranded so far. One to Carpellotti.
That sounded hard.
Everybody clap your hands.
Got it to 93, and he's had some 94s, but it's got some life to it. It's a good-looking fastball for Gunther.
I was going to say, that's heater had some kick to it. 1-2. Just miss inside there.
Wake Forest very high on Gunther, and he could be a huge plus to the bullpen that's a little bit short right now. Breaking ball would absolutely lock him up if you've got the confidence to throw it.
Payoff to Carpellotti. He throws the breaking ball. Slice foul.
Good job staying with that by Carpellotti.
Popped into right. Reinish ranges back. Wake Forest escapes a runner on third with 1 out. Still tied here in the middle of the 6th inning.
In a tie ball game, that kind of adrenaline was pumping through his body as he left the field and got high fives from his teammates, and that just charges up the whole dugout. And Wake Forest has the right people coming up to put some runs on the board.
3, 4, 5 in Kurtz, King, and Reinisch. It was runner on third, one gone. After a balk and a wild pitch, moved Eze to third. An excellent response from the freshman. Now Kurtz gets his third plate appearance. He's been aboard all 3 times with 1 hit. Jensen struggled a bit in the home half of the 5th when he came in relief. Two, 1. Foul back.
That was a good swing. That was a good swing.
You can tell he's just waiting to take one for a ride.
He was on that one.
A lot of off speed here from Jensen in his at-bat. 2-2. Kurtz lines this into center. It'll drop at the wall. Stand-up double for Kurtz to begin the 6th.
It's all in the haircuts, evidently. But when Nick Kurtz is going straight away in opposite field towards the Gene Hooks field sign, he is an amazingly tough out with power.
Big time double from Kurtz. No play there for Smith.
Got there too fast.
Here's Seaver King. Sack fly his last time up. Charges this to right center. Hangs up a bit much for Hyde. Kurtz trying to tag up into third. The throw down is a beat late, and Wake's got a runner 90 feet from the plate.
Aggressive, gutsy move by Kurtz, who tags. Remember, he batted leadoff for Wake Forest his freshman season. Good throw. The tag is going to be high. It's going to be up on his waist as the ball takes a high hop at shoulder and then down. And Kurtz, with those long arms, long frame, gets in safely with just one out at third base.
Reinisch drove home the first runners of the 5th with an RBI single. He stands in there now.
Aggressively swinging with the Georgetown infield in all the way around.
Reinisch has started to rediscover his form at the plate. It was just 4 of his last 20 entering tonight. Ignited that offense an inning ago to kickstart that 4-run 5th. 2 of 3 today.
A couple singles, but he's hit the ball hard.
Chops this down the first base line. It stays fair. Kurtz scores. Reinisch wheels into second. An RBI double to give Wake the lead.
And another nod to the noggin for a Wake Forest hitter that checks in at second base. Gets a little love from the first base coach, Matt Wessinger, too. Infield in, so really not much he can do over at first base. Ficka's just got to watch it go by him and all the way down toward the corner. Easy double.
Wake Forest first lead since the home half of the 2nd. They've scored the last 5, and Jensen's day might be coming to a wrap.
Throw a changeup as well. A lot of sliders. Look for the slider. Look for the breaking stuff.
You love that sinker ball, don't you?
Ground balls, man.
Generated a fair few of those in your career. So runner on second after the RBI double from Reinisch. Ballestero at the plate. Still just 1 gone here in the home half of the 6th. Came on King's fly ball to right, which advanced Kurtz to third. Kurtz has since scored to give Wake the lead. For those just joining us, this was a game Wake Forest trailed 6-2 after a 5-run 3rd inning from Georgetown. They peeled off a 4-run 5th. Plated 1 here in the 6th, and now Ballestero has been hit for the 3rd time today.
So the ankle area the first time up, the elbow the second time up, hit middle of the body the third time up. Wessinger's laughing a lot more than Ballestero is, but gotta love base runners.
Testing his durability quite a bit today, aren't you?
Well, he's a catcher, you know.
You gotta get beat up a bit, yeah. A couple bumps and bruises.
It's a day off, only getting hit 3 times so far.
Behind the plate, he's been all right. Hasn't been roughed up too much.
Nope.
Here's Hawk. 2 on, 1 gone. Launches this into right. It's hanging back at the track. Hyde makes the catch. Tagging will be Reinisch. He is in there standing up to third.
Yeah, 0 wind in this ballpark really right now. Especially out in right field. It's that time of day. It's the 6 o'clock-ish hour. Between 5:30 and 6:30 or so. It usually gets really dead around here.
On Sunday, there was a breeze peeling the ball out, especially towards right. And we saw a couple home runs go that way.
Usually carries towards right.
Here's a man who didn't need any carry his first time up. Winay cleared the batter's eye in the second, comes on with runners on the corners and 2 gone.
Yeah, the way that he's being used really reminds me of a guy I played with in Milwaukee, Gorman Thomas, who had 50-some home runs one year, 40-some home runs one year, high 30s a couple of years, but he hit 8th in the lineup, and his job was swing hard in case you hit him. You know, and he produced, and he drove in a lot of runs, hit a lot of home runs. I think he led the league one year. It'll be interesting to see how Tom Walter uses him going forward, whether he moves him up in the lineup or not.
Lineup construction has been relatively stable this year. He was quick to mention how pleased he was with the bottom of the order, though, last week when we spoke to him. 1-1 sneaks outside.
Good pitch recognition by Winay there. Thought about going for it and saw the spin on it, let it go.
Winay is on a red-hot stretch. He's 12 of his last 29 with 12 RBIs in his last 8. He dribbled that one foul. Someone who played the Futures Collegiate Baseball League with the Vermont Lake Monsters last year. Hit 286. 2-2. Here's the kind of fault. Yoder swept a couple of those outside so far. Huge payoff here. Just stays alive.
Slider, slider, slider. He likes the slider. And that one was a little bit up. Had a good swing at it.
8th pitch to Jack Winay. Golfs this in right, and it drops. Reinisch scores. Ballestero into third, and an RBI single from Winay to continue his hot streak.
That is some kind of on-fire hot streak, because that's just a great piece of hitting right there to get a fastball and take it the opposite way. Locked in, seeing everything well, and put a good swing on it.
Jack Winay is now 3 of 3 today. He's been aboard in all 4 of his plate appearances. Here's an RBI single from him.
That's a really confident swing, too. Nice job.
His Wake Forest team was in a 6-2 hole. They've ripped off 6 unanswered in the last 2 innings. And that'll bring up Morales, who walked his last time up. Morales still awaiting his first college hit. He's been aboard twice in his career so far. And an RBI walk his last inning.
Clear that the Wake staff likes the way he swings the bat to put him in situations like this.
His walk in many respects helped keep that inning alive in the fifth.
Really good job to stay back on the changeup and let it dip out of the zone.
2-1. Sneaks in there for a strike. Runners on the corners with 2 gone. The Deeks plating another 2 this inning. Morales lasers that foul.
Staying alive.
We've run up the pitch count on these last couple of relievers. Top of the order is on deck if they can manage to bat around here. Payoff to Morales. Hard hit to second. Issues fielding it. The throw is off the mark. Another run scores for Wake. Ballestero across home. The Deeks their largest lead of the night.
Big time points for Morales right there because he was busting his tail going down to first base on a routine ground ball to second base that you thought was going to be the 3rd out of the inning. Antonio Morales goes so hard that when the little stumble came and the ball pops out, now there's all kinds of pressure and the errant throw from Rolling at second base. What a great job. What a great hustle play down to first base on a routine ground ball.
So Rolling with the miscue. And Georgetown's.
Well, they go to him early because this is a shutdown time. You don't know if you're going to have a lead later. You want to get him into the game somehow.
He's got the top of the order in Merrick Houston to face. Currently 2 in scoring position with 2 gone. The Deeks have plated 3 more this inning to take full control of the game so far. Houston launches it in the center. The grab is made by Smith on the move, and that does it for the inning. A nightmare frame for Georgetown comes to a close, though. A 3-run lead for Wake. They've surged back into this contest.
Georgetown has helped out with 9, 4 by walk and 5 by error. Although there were 2 given to Rolling on that last play. That's a tough inning when you pick up 2 errors on 1 play.
Brutal. Scored a run as well. It allowed Wake to extend it to 3 runs. Gunther came in, put out a fire in the 6th. Had a runner on 3rd with 1 gone. Retired the next 2 batters. Now gets his first look at Josh Rolling today, who's 1 of 3 with a double. He's put down on 3 pitches.
She wasn't ready.
Well, I'm not sure that he agrees with the call, but it was pretty good spot, pretty good location by Gunther.
Gunther's impressed so far. He's looked great here. There's a new catcher behind the plate, Cameron Gill, the Wofford grad transfer to replace Ballestero. So those bumps and bruises Ballestero took in the last few frames, there will be no more added to that.
Gill was feeling a little bit under the weather, according to Tom Walter, but said he might be available to be a defensive replacement.
Gill's first appearance since hitting the walk-off against Binghamton in the second half of that doubleheader on Saturday. A looper in the right that nearly cleared the wall. Derek Smith to the plate here. Solid day.
That's a long looper.
Very long. That was a game against Binghamton where the Bearcats came from behind to tie the game in the top of the 9th. And Wake had to rescue a victory.
I have to bring Dennis Eckersley in one day to give his definition of a walk-off piece. He insists that it's a home run. It's got to be a home run for a walk-off piece. Singles don't count.
It was only a matter of inches from clearing the fence.
It was.
Smith walked, so that's the first base runner Gunther's allowed.
Now batting for Georgetown, the third baseman, number 30, Joe Hollerback.
The question is asked, why is it not a walk-off for any final run? It's because X says so. And he invented it, so.
Fair enough.
It's good enough for me.
7-hole hitter. Hollerback at the plate. 3-run shot, which at that point extended Georgetown's lead to 6-2. 7 straight runs since for Wake Forest have flipped the game on its head. Smith is the man on with 1 gone.
A couple guys warming up in the bullpen for Wake Forest. Zach Johnston and Morningstar is up as well.
Both threw on Sunday against Elon.
There's Corey Muscara heading out to the mound. It was a good breaking ball on the last pitch, but just missed. Johnston, the left-hander. Morningstar, the right.
Got a righty and a lefty, a pair of underclassmen in there. So Hollerback is the man at the plate, awaiting the first pitch from Josh Gunther.
If you're wondering, down in the bullpen, that was Sean Fisher charting the pitches in between. And yes, that is his natural red hair. That's not a part of the phenomenon going around the Wake Forest team at the moment. Great addition.
It's a star-studded staff here at Wake.
It really is, really is. Pretty amazing that Tom Walter has been able to keep them all together as long as they have been.
By the way, that hair definitely looks natural. Hollerback fouls this one down the third base line.
He knew Corey Muscara from Maryland. And they've gone back a ways and just stayed in contact. And Mike McFerrin left for other opportunities. Fisher came in, been a good addition.
2-1. And moves the count to 2-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
And Tom Walter's so quick to credit his staff whenever you ask about the success he's enjoyed at the program. Says it's in large part due to all of the stars he has on that staff. That may have gotten a piece of Hollerback, and so he'll take a free base.
Just nicked him. Yeah, there were rumors around all winter in the baseball circles about a couple of opportunities that his staff had to go get head coaching jobs, but they stuck with it. Looked like it caught the right forearm near the elbow.
Right around the funny bone.
That hurts.
You won't feel the arm for a few minutes. Castor back at the plate. Mentioned all the success he had at the D3 level, made 2 D3 College World Series in his first couple seasons there. The year they won the D3 College World Series, he was named to the all-tournament team for that College World Series. Hit 5 of his 6 home runs that postseason. Brings some pop to the bat. Comes on with Smith on second and Hollerback on first.
Gunther hanging around 94 with his fastball. Really competing.
1-2. This is just a touch low.
Overthrown just a touch. You know, it's such a weird game. The harder you try to throw, the softer you do.
Payoff pitch here from Gunther. Castor takes a free base. They're now loaded for Georgetown.
I'll give Castor a tip of the hat. He laid off an 80-mile-an-hour changeup after seeing 94-mile-an-hour fastballs. Good job.
Another pinch hitter for Georgetown, and I believe they'll change the pitcher for Wake before that becomes a matchup. So some turbulence from Gunther after a really solid
situations, and this certainly qualifies as a big chance for Johnston to improve his stock.
Well, his first matchup is a pinch hitter. It's Keith Savoy Jr. He's junior out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Is 0 of 3 on the season so far. So bases loaded with just one gone. Smith standing on third. A little bit of fight in the Hoyas here. There's the first strike.
Two fastballs that miss, so you come back off speed and catch a corner. Doubled him up. Back-to-back changes.
Two here from Johnston. See that rode inside without hitting Savoy. Count runs full.
Time off to make the catching move, and there's a really nice block by Cameron Gill.
Someone who started the bulk of the games behind the plate. Ballestero was the go-to the last couple. Payoff. Sliced foul.
Came back with the change and had him way out in front. Just a little teeny tiny piece of it.
Third pinch hitter that Georgetown has used, 2 of which have come in left field. Savoy finds the gap. Smith scores. They will park Holler back at third, but Georgetown's on the board here in the 7th.
A little bit of a break for Wake Forest. I thought he was going to try to score the second runner as well, but held him up. Double play still in order for Wake Forest, so there's a chance to get out of the jam.
But the diamond is still juiced, and the potential tying run stands at second in the form of Kavi Castor. Back to the top of the order for a home run machine in Jake Hyde, the all-time Georgetown home run leader to be precise. Speaking of players that are due, 0 of 4 today, entered the day red hot, was hitting north of 500 the previous weekend.
Good pitch. Not only is it a quality pitch because it's off speed, but he also gets it out of the zone. Has some good action to it.
It's behind 0-2. Here's the 0-2 from Johnston. This is outside. Hyde, the home run leader this season for Georgetown as well. He's got 5 this season. The last of which came on Friday night. Kick started a 6-run 6th for a comeback against FDU. Hits this down the first base line. Kurtz will tap on first, but that will score another run in the form of Hollerback.
Nice job, though, as you said. This is one of your prime home run threats, and to get him on a breaking ball and not count that situation is a plus.
Georgetown, though, has knifed this back down to a run. Michael Eze had a pretty costly error as part of a big 5th inning for Wake. He has 2 on with 2 gone. largely unheralded recruit out of high school, but somebody who took a big leap last season. And despite the slow start to this year, they know his pedigree at the plate. Big cut and a miss on the 2-0.
A lot of moving parts to Johnston out there, and you get lost in all that motion. Good changeup.
He's battled back here.
Well, they say if the arm action's good enough, you can tell a hitter it's coming.
2-2 from Johnston. Caught him swinging. Big strikeout. Wake allows 2 runs, but they preserve.
Comfortable in any ballpark.
When you got 300 on the right field line,
Yep.
definitely not.
310 to left.
Tellier is familiar with both phases of that, and he takes one right to the shins to put the leadoff man aboard.
Is that number 5 or 4? At least 4.
The first baseman, number 8, Nick.
Houston got hit too, so that's 5.
The 5th time that Wake batter has been hit, you are correct. That puts a man aboard for Nick Kurtz, too. It is a lot.
5 walks, 5 errors.
Felt like they've come at really inopportune moments as well.
Yeah.
Welcome to midweek baseball, right? 8 total hit by pitches in this game. A lot of runs, some long innings. Fun night, though, at the couch. Kurtz led off a massive 6th inning for Wake with a double into straightaway center. Tellier is definitely a threat to steal bases for Wake. 3 of 3 on the year. Kurtz a consensus All-American campaign last year. First team All-ACC. Cleared the fences 24 times. This year he's done so just twice. Starting to rediscover his rhythm after teams were pitching around him to begin the season.
14 walks.
He's up in a 3-1 count again.
So it helps the on-base percentage, just really kills your RBI opportunities.
Well, last year he was tied for 2nd in both home runs and walks. He walked 63 times last season. Takes a strike there.
You know, for a big guy, he's got a really, really good feel for the strike zone.
Payoff here from Davis. Runner goes. They throw down after the strikeout, and in safely is Tellier. So runner moves in a scoring position, but there's the first down.
Number 5, Seaver King.
4th stolen base of the year for Tellier.
And the throw came from the knees. He got a good jump. One of the faster runners on the Wake Forest team. Kurtz was asking if the pitch was a strike that he swung through for strike 3.
Seaver King, believe it or not, does not have a hit today, but has flashed some good situational hitting. 0 of 4, but a pair of flies to right that advanced base runners to 3rd.
Hangers go a long way. Sometimes you hang them just enough so that they aren't good pitches to hit. And that one was up enough and in enough that he got away with it.
Oh, 2 to King. Hard hit ball to 3rd. Holler back, snatches it, makes the throw across the diamond in time for the second out.
Now batting for Wake Forest, the right fielder, number 31, Jake Reinish.
Reinish has been excellent when it comes to the topic of situational hitting, Larry. He now comes up with another runner in scoring position.
The insurance would be welcomed by everybody in the ballpark. Tough pitcher to face, though. The closer for Georgetown is having a solid season at this point.
Been lights out so far since recording the final out of that brutal 6th inning. We were speaking about it a little bit before Sunday. It didn't become as much of an issue given the 9-0 cushion that Wake procured by the 7th. But they left a fair few on base against Binghamton and then allowed Binghamton to creep back into the game. Never truly slammed the door in either of those doubleheader legs. Seems like a similar story here. You see the 10 runners left on base. It's a number that's ever growing. Reinish slaps it into center. Tellier's coming home. There will be no play at the plate, and Wake gets the insurance.
Well, if Jake Reinish is back, and it looks like he is, that's a huge addition for the Wake Forest offense in 2024 because he's a pure hitter. He's fun to watch hitting. Ball over the middle of the plate. He rips it back up the middle. Got home run power, got opposite field power. Great eye at home plate.
That brings up Cameron Gill, the man who walked off his last time up against Binghamton. But yeah, to your point, when we spoke to Tom Walter, he said, I don't feel Nick Kurtz is out of too much of a rhythm. I just feel like he's still trying to settle back in because they're pitching around him to get to King and Reinish. Now King and Reinish have started to make teams pay the price. Makes it harder to pitch around Kurtz.
Well, and the biggest thing is with what you're saying is that there's two of them. There's not just one. It's okay, we might get the right-hander, but then we got to deal with the left-hander. Or the left-hander we're getting because we got a left-hander in, but we got the right-hander in front of him. So the way Tom Walter composes his lineup.
That'll be a ball because Davis slips. You mentioned that turf earlier. They change it regularly.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time they changed it was. You see the strip that they replace, and it looks a little bit slick. We'll have more information on that in our next broadcast.
With a pitcher's duel on deck on Friday, you figure they'll address that.
2 probable first-round draft picks.
1-2 to Cameron Gill from Nick Davis. Gets him swinging. So the off-speed does the job, but Wake plates insurance. A 2-run lead for the Deeks after 7. Looking to close things out over the... Get his first look at Christian Ficca, who's walked twice, singled, and also has struck out.
There's the big breaking ball.
So Christian Ficca, you've mentioned baseball lifers. His family has so many ties to Georgetown. His mother, father, and both uncles all played some form of college athletics at Georgetown.
Wow.
It's in his DNA, quite literally. We mentioned the boost he enjoyed to begin this year. Part of it, according to Coach Thompson, has been his swing selection. In fact, a large part of it. He feels he's always been confident, but now he knows what to lay off a bit more this year. It's evidenced by the declining strikeout tally.
Kind of a late shift here by Wake Forest over to the right side.
The 2-2, they won't need this shift. They got him looking.
Rather immaterial with the quality of those last 3 pitches.
Now batting for Georgetown, the catcher,
Check out the spot with this one. Down, away. Good pitch.
12 strikeouts today for Wake, a couple days after fanning 16 against Elon. Pitching has been the strength of this team, particularly starting pitching, but the bullpen has come through in spurts tonight. Here's the second team All-Big East selection, Carpellotti. Routine ground ball for Hawk, 2 up, 2 down.
Jam sandwich right there, right in on the hands, and an easy play for Hawk. It's games like this that make for a great season, games where one facet of the team is not quite up to snuff and other people pick them up. So the offense came through tonight. The bullpen's been very good.
In many ways, the inverse of some of the earlier games this year where the starting pitching was great and perhaps the bullpen let it slip a bit.
Which is, and you expect the starting pitching to be the staple and strongest part of this Wake Forest team when you look at the quality of the 3 guys that they run out there on a weekend.
It's a Wake team that is second in the ACC in ERA, second in strikeouts, second in runs allowed entering today as well. They've walked the 3rd least batters in the conference, and in large part due to the fact that a lot of their starters carry them deep into ball games. Rolling is quickly behind 0-2.
Still small sample, though. You know, it's start getting into ACC play, everything changes.
Rolling is fooled. Another strikeout from Johnston, a 1-2-3 inning from Wake. Looking to pad the numbers at the foot. That it will be. And the standout series, of course, is right here at the couch from Friday to Sunday. Santucci starting things on Friday night against Hartle.
He's good.
He hasn't allowed to run this year.
He's very good.
31 strikeouts to 7 walks, if memory serves.
He's extremely good.
Changed your opinion in it quickly, didn't I?
No, I knew he was extremely good.
So is Josh Hartle. He's pretty solid.
Yes, he
himself.
is. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
And then, of course, Burns throwing on Saturday. Wake probably the best starting rotation in the nation, arguably. This is well hit by Hawk in a left center, and Smith making the catch right around the track.
You would have thought Tommy would have coached him better, that there's no money out there for the... You got to be with the real big boys to get him out that way.
His brother Tommy, an All-ACC second-team selection a year ago, played outfield.
Played center field down in spring training with the Guardians.
A Wake team that just churns out top-tier MLB draft picks. This season, no different. 5 projected first-rounders entering the year. This is Jack Winney. And an RBI singles last time up.
A lot of talent in this conference again this season.
ACC and the SEC, the 2 best conferences in America, I'd say. Big 12 definitely has a case to crack that top 3 as well. And I believe Big 12 play also begins this weekend. It's just the ACC and the Big 12 to begin proceedings in conference play. They're the earliest conference games on the schedule. Two to Winney. Hit over to Eze at short. And another error allows a base runner aboard for Wake.
Well, that'll keep Edwin Thompson up a little bit. Their trip back to Washington. 6th error of the night for the Hoyas. They'll be going back tomorrow, by the way. Their game against Duke was canceled.
That it was. They've got a series against Cornell this coming weekend. There is impending weather in the Carolinas tomorrow. Nine-hitter Morales due up. Pinch runner for Wake as well. Javar Williams will stand in there.
See if Walter gets aggressive.
He's running for Wake Forest, number 14, Javar Williams.
Well, he's certainly taken a lead. Williams was the top-ranked outfielder in Massachusetts, according to Perfect Game. He's a freshman out of Tabor Academy.
Little flinch. Right knee kind of leaned out like it wanted to go towards second. The rest of the body had to go back to first.
Williams went to the same high school as former Demon Deacon Sean Sullivan, who was drafted in the second round by the Rockies last year. .2-0 for Morales. Gets underneath it. It's an infield fly, and this time Eze makes the play defensively for the second out.
Back to the top of the order for Wake Forest, the shortstop, number 7, Merrick Houston.
Back to the top of the order for Houston. They try to check on Williams, and the ball squirts behind. So Williams now in his second as Ficca has issues fielding the pickoff, and another in scoring position for the Deeks.
And another error for the Hoyas. Generally given to the pitcher. It's a pretty good sized lead, but the ball just went off the glove of the first baseman Ficca over there. We'll check and see who they gave that to.
7 errors now against Georgetown. Coming into the day, had 12 on the entire season. Edwin Thompson said he felt they fielded okay their first couple weekends. That has, unfortunately for them, not been the case tonight.
I asked him this afternoon. He said, yeah, we're all right.
Houston checks his swing. Umpire says he went. And the errors we mentioned, I mean, no error comes at a good time, but they've come in some big moments where Georgetown can get a lead runner or prevent a run from scoring potentially, and they've either had the bases loaded, let runs score, or allow multiple runs to score on chunk plays like that.
You get 7 of them, they're going to affect the game somehow in a big way.
In a 2-run ball game, they've certainly done that. Houston, big swing and a miss there to level the count. So only 2 of those runs that Wake have scored are unearned. But those are the difference in this ball game right now. Grounder over to Eze, and well, you can add another error to the ledger.
I can see a way to score this a base hit too, though. Because he had to come in really, really hard. Houston with good speed. It would have been a tough play.
See what they charted.
During the next 45 games where the defense picks up the offense and the pitching staff too, so it evens out.
Runners on the corners, 2 gone for Adam Tellier. He's got a double and a single so far.
But there aren't many guys on the Georgetown team right now saying, hit it to me.
I think the middle infield especially would agree with you. Tellier, hard hit ball, right over the middle into center. Williams will score. Wake increases the lead to 3 runs.
Tellier just keeps putting up good at bat after good at bat.
Third hit tonight.
Doesn't try to do more than he's capable of doing, but when he's got the opportunity, He's shown that he's got plenty of power to do what he needs to do with it. Breaking ball down and away. He rips it up the middle. Check the exit velo on that one.
So the pinch runner in Williams scores, and that puts 2 aboard now for Nick Kurtz. And Nick Davis's night may be over here.
3 2/3 innings that he's pitched. So the plate sometimes can move around a little bit for him.
He'll have to pitch carefully to the man at the plate. Nick Kurtz coming in with 2 on and 2 gone. Wake has already put 1 insurance run across, but they would love to be slam-proof, courtesy of their slugger. Kurtz today, 2 of 3. Had a double, which kick-started things in the 6th. Wake's biggest inning of the game. Falls behind 1 and 2. Semi-finalists for the Golden Spikes Award last year. The preseason honors pretty much float off the charts. It's a page-long list. Watches the 1-2 float outside.
But takes the 1-loss record more seriously than any other stat there is on the page.
Looking to keep no losses at the couch intact. This one's way back into the parking lot. Two to Kurtz. Craziest thing about him is they originally recruited him thinking he'd be more of a pitcher. Got a commitment from him in 9th grade, and then immediately when he got to campus realized the bat was a little ahead of the pitching. Loops this towards center. The grab is made by Eze, and that does it for the inning. Well, Wake gets 1 more run of insurance. They leave a couple aboard. Back-end guy, his final 3 seasons as a Terp. He'll get his first look at Derek Smith to begin the top of the 9th. Wake team that is a perfect 9-0 here at David F. Couch Ballpark. They've won 7 straight. This got a piece of Smith, though. A 4th Georgetown batter that's been hit by a pitch. And the leadoff man aboard for the Hoyas.
Now batting for Georgetown, the third baseman.
Okay, well, when you start writing the book about good, clean baseball games, this one's going to be nowhere near it.
You can say that again.
8 errors, 8 hit batsmen.
Get 8 squared out here.
64.
Here you go, quick math. Hollerback hit the home run that inflated the lead to 6-2 for Georgetown. He's at the plate. Barring any further pinch hitters, Castor would be on deck.
It just looks like the balance and rhythm isn't there right now for Falco after coming back in the second game of the doubleheader.
Threw 2 times in the same night. Not often you see that from the closer. Here's his first strike of the at-bat.
Everybody clap your hands.
Falco with 1 save already this year. 2-2 comes for Hollerback. Stays afloat. Caller back today is just 1 of 3. A home run was hit by a pitch. Floating into right. On the move, Reinisch makes the grab for the first out. 1 down for Falco.
Still Castor, the 8 man. His 3rd plate appearance of the day. Found the zone much better these last couple batters.
And it's always fun when you get ahead when you're a pitcher.
Going front 0-2.
See, it's just, and it doesn't take much for the rhythm to be off. You open up a little bit too fast with your left side, and everything goes awry on you.
Castor pops this into foul ground. This totally gives Chase. That is unplayable.
And that's the hardest thing for young players to learn, is how to get that back together. And so you as a pitcher or as a hitter, you have to take that moment, step out of the box, step off the mound, regroup, get your thoughts back together, get your own mental cues for what you use with yourself to get yourself back to where you need to be.
Hard hit ball down the first baseline, and that creeps into the outfield. On the move is Smith. He stands up in a 3rd, and a much-needed double to put 2 in scoring position for Georgetown.
No sense taking any chances with that runner around 3rd base. That run doesn't mean anything.
Keith Savoy Jr.
But the potential tying run now comes to the plate as Keith Savoy Jr. strolls in.
Look for a moment like Kurtz had a chance at it, and you're so used to seeing him pick everything that there is down at first base. That was just hit too hard.
That would have been quite the play.
Yeah.
Savoy singled and was left stranded at 2nd in the 8th. And an RBI base knock. That was his first hit of the year. So Smith is on 3rd. Castor's on 2nd. And Falco's got work to do to close this out.
Good breaking ball there.
That just arcs foul.
Funny swing and a breaking ball that stayed a little bit more over the plate than Falco wanted.
1-2 on its way. Savoy golfs it into center and it drops. Smith comes home and Georgetown's knifed the deficit to 2 runs.
He just fisted that ball into center field.
Back to the top of the order for Georgetown.
Overpowered the ball just a little bit. Big hit. Keeps the rally going. Also sets up the double play.
Runners on the corners, 1 gone, and that carries us over to the top of the order for Jake Hyde, with the potential tying run now standing at 1st in the form of Keith Savoy Jr. Hyde today, you see those numbers, 0 of 5. Entered the day red hot, especially after last weekend. He was 12 of his previous 23. He's on an 8-game hit streak that now hangs in the balance. Lofts this into left. Catch made by Winay. They will hold the runner on 3rd. So 2 gone.
And back for Georgetown, the shortstop number 1, Michael Izzy.
Probably wonder why they held him, but again, that run doesn't mean anything. He's going to have to score at some point in front of the guy behind him. So
Georgetown down to their final out, and it is Michael Eze tasked with keeping this game afloat.
Well, if there's one guy on this team that wants to be a hero for his club tonight, it's this guy.
3 errors defensively. It has been a rocky start to the campaign for him after garnering all-conference acclaim a season ago. Was very strikeout prone even last year. Went cold towards the end of the season. Hasn't quite broken out of that slump since. Takes the first strike.
Get 2-0. The fastball's a miss. Of course you throw a breaking ball for a strike.
The 2-1. Hitters count, and they are a pitch away from loading the diamonds. All hangs in the balance. Georgetown down to their final strike.
Run will be going.
The payoff from Falco. Got him looking. Wake moves to a perfect 10-0 at the couch. The Deeks went 11-9 in a thriller here in the midweek.
Sometimes you just have to win them ugly, and this one qualifies. But